Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
You're listening to Believe You Me with Michael the Count Bisping.
You know my name yet?
And Anthony Lionheart Smith.
All right, we're back. The boys are back. Harrington's back. Bisping's back. Manel Kape, Brendan Allen's back. Vicente Luque will be back, even though they've never been on the show. Welcome to Believe You Me, everybody. 3 big guests today. As I said, Brendan Allen returns. Vicente Luque ahead of his big fight with Ian Garry. So there's a lot on that bone, a lot of meat on that bone, and also Manel Kape as well, making his BYM debut. Anthony Smith in training camp, just 1 week until the fight. Harrington, there's a lot going on. I'm here in Austin, Texas. I'm looking out the window right now. I can see the skyline. Had a beautiful meal, nice people, great fight card this weekend, but there's been a bit of action early.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're on the ground in Austin, they might need you to start breaking up fights at these media events here, Michael Bisping, because things are getting out of hand ahead of this fight card. Yeah,
they don't need me. The UFC have a tremendous security team. Shout out Stephen Tiny, the SAS boys, former SAS boys. We're talking about Bobby Green. Bobby Green took to Instagram last night, Twitter, whatever it was. It was out there on social media. And then I spoke to him today at the fighter meetings, and I'm not revealing any secrets because he's not exactly hiding it. You know, he put it on social media. He legit got into a fist fight. Oh, here we go. Yeah, play the video.
Just getting started. Shit, just getting started, nigga. Little bitch ass nigga right there. Yeah, I'm gonna get you right there. Yeah. Y'all ran up on me, nigga. Y'all ran up on me. What's up? What's up? Just getting started.
And there's a few more. There's one there where Bobby Green. Oh, by the way, Bobby Green said he's happy to come on the podcast. Remember last time? Ooh. Remember last time? It was like, don't ever ask me again. I was like, whoa, don't worry, Bobby. Message received. And then today he came into the fight and he's like, oh, by the way, I'll come on your podcast. I was like, oh, all right, cool. I asked him what happened. He said, one of Armin's boys came up and just got right in his face. And he's like, what do you want? What are you doing? And then after a second, he kind of pushed Bobby. So Bobby pushed him back. And then he said like 6 or 7 Armenians, I think, all just kind of jumped him. And I said, to what extent? What are we talking? He said, fists were flying. He said, I threw several punches. And his hands, each hand is covered in gigantic rings. I said, you're throwing punches in those rings? He's like, oh, yeah, man. Yeah, Bobby, he's a wild one. And he's got a wild fight going up against Jalen Turner. Thoughts, Harrington?
Well, I think he did the right thing kind of setting this up for himself. Because if you remember the talk about a week ago was, all the headlines for this fight was who's Bobby Green going to fight? And Bobby Green saying Arman Tsarukyan really is just kind of trash. He shouldn't be ranked above me. He's nothing special, et cetera, et cetera. So to have that happen and then run into that team, you're the lightweight co-main event. The guys who are fighting in the main event are both ranked above you. Makes sense to start some heat early.
Oh, I see. So that's the piece of the puzzle that I was missing because I wondered, I wasn't aware because he said that apparently Bobby was talking some shit. So that was it. He was saying that Armin's trash and all the rest of it. So,
yeah, let me look for the exact quote. But
no,
yeah,
you're okay. You don't need the exact quote. We get the gist. Right. I see. Well, look, listen, security's on high alert. Bobby Green's a wild man, and he's looking forward to a great fight. He's fighting Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner taking this fight on very, very short notice. Bobby he said there was a lot of people that he wanted. A lot of people put their hands up, but Jalen Turner's the man that he's got. He knows Jalen. They're from the similar part of, the Inland Empire, San Bernardino, places like that. So they know each other. They kind of respect one another. But that's going to be a fantastic fight. I love what Bobby Green brings to the table. He's improving all the time, knocked out Grant Dawson. And on the flip side, Jalen Turner is tremendous. I was shocked, to be honest. No disrespect to Dan Hooker. I thought Jalen would have handled Dan better than what he did, but Dan Hooker showed tremendous heart in that. So there's a lot of pressure on Jalen Turner coming into this one, taking this one very, very short notice. Looked like he was struggling to make weight, but when I spoke to Jalen Turner today, he's only 7 pounds over, which is, don't get me wrong, it's 7 pounds. To use a British term, it's half a stone. And I said to him, oh, that's not bad, £7. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, you can cut £7. He's like, he didn't feel quite as confident, so we'll see.
I mean,
by the way, I'm not saying he's going to miss weight. He was just like, he's like, bro, I got to cut £7, so, but I think he'll make weight just fine.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a guy who typically gets in the cage at like 4% body fat. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing extra on Jalen Turner to be losing 7 pounds.
Well, that's exactly what he said. I was like, dude, it's £7. You can do that. And he stands up and he rips up his shirt. And I'd do it, but I don't want to make everyone feel bad with my ridiculous 10-pack that I have.
Right. I appreciate that. Thank you.
It's okay, Harrington. Didn't want to make you jealous. No, and he goes, look at me. And he rips his shirt up. And like, you've never seen, I mean, he said he was skinny as hell. That might be one word. Ripped as hell is a more accurate description, if you ask me. So listen, either way, that fight's going to be ridiculous. And we'll just get into the main event quickly as well. Beneil Dariush, Arman Tsarukyan. We had Beneil on the show Monday, right? As you know. I get here last night. I go and meet up with Brendan Fitzgerald and Michael LaPlante, one of the producers. Little short walk to Vince Young's Steakhouse. Walk around the corner. Who's the first person that I see?
Beneil
Dariush.
Nice.
Walking down the street. He's got his little daughter on his shoulders.
Aww.
I know. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, he's the main event of a massive fight card. You know what I mean? It's going to be a sold out crowd. And he's just there with his family. Probably the most wholesome in all of mixed martial arts. I'm telling you, you could not meet a nicer guy. So shout out Beneil for joining us on Monday. Thank you very much. And but he has got a tough fight. Arman Tsarukyan's no joke. What do you think, Harrington? You can give a prediction. I cannot. And Brian, I would be interested to hear your take as well. Welcome to the show, Brian.
So I mean, I think my biggest takeaway heading into this fight is like we saw in like a similar style matchup, the Gamrot fight. It's certainly where Tsarukyan had the most trouble he's had since he fought, Islam on a short notice debut. But it feels like everything about Beneil's game is tailor-made to counteract what Arman Tsarukyan does well. In 5 years, we might be having the same conversation about Arman, as a guy who's been in the company for that long. But I think this is going to be Beneil's like 22nd or 23rd fight in the UFC. I got to go with experience and veteran savvy in this one. Yeah, well, when I was watching Beneil against Mateusz Gamrot doing my research yesterday, what a performance. And Beneil just has that dog in him. There is no quit for, as I say, wholesome guy, nice guy, very polite, a man of faith, always got his family with him and all the rest of it. But when he steps in that octagon, I mean, technically, he's brilliant. He picks his shots well. He doesn't overthrow. He's very reserved with what he throws, but he makes it count when he does. They're powerful, they're precise, they're on point. I'm saying a lot of words, Brian, for somebody that can't even give a predizione. Who you got, Brian?
I like Beneil Dariush for all the reasons Harrington said.
None of the reasons that I said?
Also the reasons that you said. I mean, it's a Venn diagram that looks very much like a circle. You know what I mean? But I like Beneil Dariush in this fight. I think he's going to be one of those guys that gets the belt right at the end of his career, and it's going to be one of those happily ever after moments.
That would be beautiful to see. Now, we do have, as I said, a lot of guests today. We have Brendan Allen joining us, and we also have Vicente Luque. And the two, they are connected by one name, which is Ian Garry. Vicente is fighting Ian Garry. Brendan Allen has been doing the round saying that he saw Ian Garry get knocked out. Okay. So I'm not here. It's not me. Okay. If Ian Garry sees this, I apologize. It's just not me. I haven't said shit on this. And I do believe, actually, in just a moment, Brendan Allen will be joining us. All right, guys, are you tired of wasting your money on testosterone booster products that simply don't work? Well, I don't blame you. And that's why our sponsor, Nugenix Total T, lets you try before you buy. That is correct. You can get a complimentary sample when you text 231 and enter the keyword believe. Look, listen, as you're getting older, you might find yourself getting a bit of a dad bod. You go to the gym, but you're not getting the results you want, okay? You're starting to get the beer belly, as I said, the dad bod. Listen, as you're getting older, you're going to get fatter. Simple as that. Why? Because your testosterone goes down. It dips 1% every year. Your energy goes down. Your libido goes down. And that's why Nugenix Total T, it comes in and saves the day because it boosts free and total testosterone levels to help you feel better at work, in the gym and in the bedroom. There is nothing like Nugenix Total T, and there is nothing better. So what is it? Nugenix Total T contains man-boosting key ingredients like testofen, which has been shown in clinical studies to boost free testosterone levels in men. This is an unprecedented formula with science-backed key ingredients to safely maximize your free and total testosterone levels. It helps you increase your muscle mass and skyrocket your performance as you age. And don't be misled, right? Every product professes quality, but many use all generic ingredients that are far less than clinical grade. With Nugenix Total T, you get premium key ingredients at the same exact powerful clinical potency levels, which is used in the trials. And Nugenix formulation is backed by years of science and research. By the way, Nugenix is the #1 doctor recommended brand. This is what doctors recommend, and the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Nugenix Total T can help re-energize your life and get you back to the powerful, confident, good-looking man that you used to be. And if you're not totally satisfied, Nugenix will refund 100% of your purchase price, as well as the shipping and the processing. So right now, get a complimentary bottle, as I said, of Nugenix Total T when you text 231-231 and enter the keyword BELIEVE. Text now and get a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, the newest and most powerful fat incinerator ever, with key ingredients to help you lose fat fast, get lean fast, and again, it's absolutely free. Text 231-231, enter the keyword BELIEVE. 231-231. One more time, the keyword is BELIEVE. All right, we are joined by the one and only Brendan All-In Allen Fresh off a very, very dominant victory just recently off a good friend of the show, Mr. Paul Craig. Brendan, how we doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm just hanging out. How are you?
I can't complain, man. I'm here in Austin, Texas right now for the fights this weekend. But never mind that. Let's go back. What was it? A week? Let's go back a week. Paul Craig, talk us through that fight. I know the calf slicer, that looked like it was pretty deep.
Yeah, it did a little damage. But 15 seconds and 10 minutes and 38 seconds of a fight. I mean, it sucks that short time does damage, but it is what it is. It's part of the game, and now we just deal with it and move on to the next.
Oh, by the way, there was no negative connotation to that. I was just saying how incredible it was that you got out of that. So you say there's a bit of damage. What was the damage?
Well, we're still waiting on. I saw one doctor already. I'm going to see the UFC in a couple weeks, but they think, we know it's something with my ACL, meniscus, some other ligaments, but they think it's old injury that just got like re-aggravated. So we'll get some testing in a couple weeks when I go for the UFC 296, and that'll tell us 100% where we go. But I think I'm good. My doctor said I was good. I just needed to just kind of rest for a little bit, rehab it for a few weeks, and then my body should start already healing itself and like it has before. Because again, he thinks it's an old injury that's just re-aggravated. But yeah, it's sore, but I haven't stopped moving since the fight. I went to Disney World right after, literally right after. I was there walking around. I come home for a couple days, and then now I'm in Illinois hunting. So I'm walking up these hills and stuff back here. So I haven't stopped, and it's a little sore some days, but it doesn't like really hurt. That's what's weird. I don't have any like pain. It's just like an aching feeling.
Well, fingers crossed you don't need surgery, and I truly mean that. And I don't mean to keep banging on about the calf slicer, but what was more painful, going around Disneyland or the calf slicer? Because I just got back from Universal Studios, and a great day, don't get me wrong, but my God, was it packed. And at certain times, I almost wanted to kill myself.
I feel the same way, man. I think like I get enjoyment out of it, seeing my kids, having fun. But I think now I'm at the point in my life where I've been there so much. My oldest has been there. Now my youngest has been there. Even though they're so little, I'm just like, yeah, I'm over it. Too many people, a lot of weirdos. Just like, I don't know. I'm kind of over it. A lot of money.
Oh God, tell me about it. I spent a fortune. Shit, talking about a lot of weirdos. Just recently, I think it was Disneyland. Somebody stripped off. Did you see that?
I think I just saw that video today where he jumped in the water or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let me ask you this: as a current member of the middleweight roster and doing very well, might I add, and we're going to get to that stuff in a minute. What would you do? You're in Disneyland. You've just come off a ride. You're walking down. You've got your kids. How many kids, by the way?
I have 2.
2 kids. You're there. You got your 2 kids. You're having a wonderful day. Some weirdo strips off, flashes himself. He's splashing around in the water. What's going on in the Brendan Allen world?
I'm a guy that's I'm extremely big on minding my own business, so I'm just gonna go the other way. As long as no one touches me or like messes with my children, I'm good, man.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
I mean, they're gonna kids and everything. They're gonna see something naked eventually. All that. As long as you don't say nothing to me, you leave me alone, and I can get away with even saying something to me. As long as you're not close to me, I just mind my own business and go the other way. I just know how I react to things. And I don't want to get in any trouble for reacting in certain ways to things. So I just try to keep jokes out of everything. If not, most importantly, my dad always taught me to mind my own business. So I just try to mind my own business and do what I need to do.
Yeah, good for you, man. Spoken like a very mature person. So you got the job done against Paul Craig. You looked phenomenal, by the way. You've been talking a little bit about what you want next. I see the name Robert Whittaker being mentioned quite a bit, but apparently he's not mentioning your name. Now, I'm not talking smack about Robert Whittaker, and I know you're not either. I think most people respect Robert Whittaker. He's just one of the nicest guys in the sport. But what's going on here, Brendan?
Man, I don't know. I just saw things today saying he might fight Paulo in March or May. Yeah, March. But he's apparently someone said he was talking about me on his podcast right after I fought. And I don't know, like, it's kind of one of those things like work hard until your idols become your rivals type things. Like, I have a lot of respect for him. He's done a lot of great things. He's beat a lot of good guys. He's been at the top of the game for a while. He was the king of the hill for a while, but he ain't the king no more. And he ain't going to be the king again. So, it doesn't take away for the respect that I have for him for what he's done. But I'm ready to have one of those guys on my resume, someone like him that has the resume that he has, that has the accolades that he has. So it's out of respect. But I mean, when you come to me saying that, or apparently he said something to the fact of you have to earn it or something like that. I don't know exactly what was said, but it was something to that, or at least that's how I understood it. It's like, bro, I know you're not talking to me because I've literally earned every single step that I've been taking. There's nothing been given to me. Nothing's been handed to me. I think I probably have one of the best records in the division right now of everyone on the roster. I'm 10-1 in the division. And I ain't fought bums neither. Everyone that I fought to this day has been good, at least at the time that I fought them. There was something about them that made them talked about at that time. Maybe they're not talked about anymore, but that's not my fault. And then, I mean, all you can say is, oh, you ain't beat a top 10 or a top 5 guy yet. Well, that's not my fault. I try to get them. So, I think I want to fight him, but now I see that. So he took the easier route, the easier option of a fight. And so I guess it's Cannoniers, what's on the table, hopefully. Like, I haven't spoken with the UFC. Like I said, we're still waiting on my knee to get 100% cleared. But it's still, for me, it feels like at least April, or at worst case, April is the time that I want to fight again. So only thing that changes that is it a couple weeks if they go through and run the test and I have to have surgery, then I'm out for 8 months. But hopefully that doesn't happen.
Hopefully it doesn't. As you mentioned, you're 6-0 now. 5 of those by way of finish against some very good opponents. So, yeah, it's got to be something big next. Everybody's targeting April, though. Everybody wants to be on that UFC 300 card. So, Jared Cannonier, so you said you're yet to hear from the UFC. Where is this coming from?
I just think, I mean, everyone's getting all these big jumps, right? You got 12 fighting 7, you got 8 fighting 4s. Like, you have all these big jumps, and I've defended my spot now twice. Granted, one of them was my fault. I was rolling the dice when they offered me Roman because we were waiting for Dricus because we thought he was going to lose to Whittaker. By the time I come back, he had already accepted a fight with Roman had already accepted a fight with Brunson. So I lost that opportunity. That was on me. I rolled the dice, and I lost the gamble. But I could be saying that the total opposite way. If I would have won the gamble, I could have been fighting 5 over number 9 at the time. So That is what it is. But I think at this point, I've now defended my spot twice. I've just beat a guy who was ranked at one point number 8 in the light heavyweight division. He's beat my boy Jamal, who was the champion. He's beat Ankalaev, who's fought for the belt. So his resume is pretty damn good at a higher weight class. And he's come down here and had a lot of hype. And I made that one look fairly easy. So I think for me at this point, it's a top 5 only, because that's only someone that can get me a title shot next. If I finish a top 5 guy, then what's left at that point? Because all those guys have fought each other. All those guys have either fought each other or fought for the title. So, granted, the title's changed hands now, but still, you fought for a belt. You've had your opportunity. So I don't know. I think that's how I feel in my head. That's how I process it. That it's just my turn if I do that.
Yeah. Listen, I agree. 6-0 now, and as you said, 10-1, right? So, I mean, that's very impressive, and certainly with all the finishes. Coming up shortly on today's show, we've got Vicente Luque joining us as well, and I know that's a training partner of yours. I know you share the same manager in Ali. Shout out Ali. I think he's a great guy, and thanks to him for setting this interview up today. He's fighting Ian Garry. I've seen you talking a bit about Ian Garry lately, and I'm not trying to rip on and add to the Ian Garry shitstorm that's going on right now. But what is your take on all of this? Because you were saying some words the other day. I forget what they were. Just remind the believers. What's your take on this whole Ian Garry situation?
I mean, to be very clear, I didn't go out there and just say what I said, even though that's how it was cut to made look.
Okay.
I don't just talk to hear myself talk. Like, if you ask me a question, I'm going to give you a factual statement, or I'm going to tell you it's my opinion, and that's what I believe. But either way, I'm going to answer your question. And
so what was the question? What was the question you were asked?
It was something to the fact, about him going around talking about how he trains. It's funny that we were just talking about Cannonier, and he just commented on my post. It just come up there.
Look at this guy multitasking. We're doing an interview. One of the biggest podcasts in the world, and you're keeping an eye on the bloody Instagram. Must be nice having 2 eyes. Yeah, you were saying, I remember now, you were saying that you saw him get slept. You saw him get knocked out cold.
So he says like he's the baddest guy. He's the best in the gym, and everyone's going to talk so great about him. But we're all fighters. We all have good days and we have bad days. But not on your bad days, there's not a whole lot of guys getting slept. And, he got slept. But it's just an etiquette and a way of, I guess, morals of where I come from, I guess. I'm very, like, old school in the way that I think about fighting, the way I think about training, just because of where I come from and who I grew up with, training with, and I don't know, man. It's just a very old school way. So when I see this guy just continuously talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, man, like, I just don't like it. And like I said, I said it in the interview as well. I think he's a good kid. I think he's a good person, but he's at that way to where, to me, you kind of divert one way or the other. He's at that crossroads, and you can either sell your soul to the devil and do whatever for money and fame, or you can stick to your beliefs and things like that and just talk for this image. So I think he's leading down that way. I think he's very misled by the people that he surrounds himself with, and I think that's what's leading to that. But all in all, it's none of my business. As long as he leaves me alone and keeps me away from it, I don't care. I don't mind. But again, I'm asked a question, I'm going to answer. It's not like I'm out here just talking shit on the dude just because everyone's the hot topic.
Yeah.
I'm just
no, for
answering.
sure. And then that was the only reason I asked it, because I did see that. And the obvious follow-up question is, and I know what you're going to answer it with, and you know where I'm going.
I think
Who was it? And I'm assuming if you got slept, it was a head kick. Blink once for yes, blink twice for no. Had to be a head kick.
I don't know. It was a punch.
Was it a knee to the face?
It was a punch.
Oh, wow. All right. Somebody in the UFC, I'm assuming, probably rhymes with Mavkat Flatmanov. No. All right. You don't want to say. Somebody we know, though?
I'm sure you know who it is.
Oh, I don't know. This suspense is killing me. Apparently, he just got sent to the hospital and knocked out of Leon Edwards as well. This sounds like I'm shitting on Ian Garry. I am not. This is just, it's just always explosive stuff.
Hey, it's true though, man. You can't go out here saying you're the baddest man and you do all these great things in sparring and this and that. man, you got to take your lumps too. And I think that's a big part of the sport is take your lumps, either in the gym and in fighting. Eventually, it's going to happen in a fight. You know, eventually he's going to get slept or beat, and then what happens then? How are you going to handle that? Because, man, I tell you, when I first met him, he was such a nice guy, so respectful, very polite. Even in the media, he wasn't talked like he does now. And I mean, man, I think I ain't gonna say no names, but the person who leads the train, if you know what I'm saying, is the wrong person to be leading. You know, it's just not good, man. It's just not good, and to each their own, though.
Okay, no, fair enough. And as I say, I'm not trying to turn this into a giant shitting on him. But whenever I've met him, I've had, and it hasn't been too many times, but I've always had positive interactions, but it hasn't been too much. So Vicente Luque will be fighting him, though. How do you see that fight going down? Because I'll ask Vicente, it's one thing to hear from the fighter himself, from somebody like yourself, respected in the world, in the MMA community, who's seen them in the gym. Without telling too many tales, how do you think that one goes down?
So I think Ian's a big 70-er. I think he really is a big 70-er, and his best attribute that he has is he does very well at distance management. He does very well with his range and finding it. But on the flip side, his wrestling isn't that good. His jiu-jitsu isn't that good. And I don't mean like overall. I mean for the level that you want to compete at in the UFC at the top guys. Again, it's not terrible, but it's definitely not top 10 material, depending on who you're fighting, because usually either one of them got striking or wrestling or jiu-jitsu. But again, his striking is good. So Vicente has good wrestling. He's durable. He's fought the who's who, so he has that veteran mentality to figure things out in the cage. And I just don't think Ian brings anything to the table that Vicente hasn't seen before. And Vicente's crisp on the feet. I think the only thing to watch on the feet is just the range difference. You know, maybe it takes Vicente a couple minutes to figure out that distance, or maybe not because they've already sparred before, and that's how it's went. But
so you're dropping a little hint there.
I mean, that's what I like. Again, I don't train at the gym all the time, but multiple people tell you the same thing that were there at the day of the moment.
So you're saying it was Vicente that knocked him out?
No. Vicente didn't knock him out. That's a totally different guy.
All right.
Totally different guy. But
I just want to know. I don't know. I know. I get. And by the way, we're having a laugh and I'm being silly like always. But I respect your stance there. By the way, that is the correct thing to do.
I feel like it's just not my place to say the name. Yeah. If the guy that did it wanted to say his name and put his name out there, then it's on him to do. I wasn't the one that knocked him out, so and even if I did, I wouldn't say nothing unless he said anything directly to me. If he said something dogging me, then we'd put it out there. But
sure.
And also the guy that did it's a super respectable guy. He has a certain etiquette and morals just as well, and I think he'd be the same way. I don't think he's going to say his name or put his name out there until Ian were to say something about him or to him.
Schmilbert turns.
No.
You're struggling to crack my codes. All right. Anyway, so listen. I hope hopefully the leg just needs a bit of rest. Fingers crossed. How are you spending your Christmas? It looks like you're off on a duck hunt shortly.
No, I'm at my property. So yeah, I'm about to go back there and go hunting for deer.
Are?
Huh?
For deer?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never been on a hunt in my life.
Oh, I love it, man. I just haven't been able to put a lot of time into it the past couple of years because I've been fighting so much and training camps and everything else. So it's been hard, but yeah, now things are changing in my career and how it goes and how often and stuff. So maybe I'll be able to put more time. But I missed the first split because I fought on the weekend of the first opening split here, and now I'm here on the second split, and I'm going to try to get something. But yeah. So I'm here now. I'm going to go home, be with my kids. And go to Vegas for the UFC 296, and then go back home for Christmas and my birthday, and then after that, I don't know. I just like being home. I'm gone a lot, so try to be home a little bit, spend time with my kids, enjoy the holidays with them, and I don't know. I haven't thought about anything past January, to be honest. Again, I'm waiting to see what the knee does, and then hopefully I fight in probably April. Hopefully, I have my own promotion on March 29th, I think. So I'll come home for that no matter what. If I'm in camp, not in camp, doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm just kind of leaving it up in the air right now.
Well, that and with the 2 children certainly sounds like you got your hands full. We'll let you go. One last question. My son, Lucas, he's dying to be more outdoorsy. He wants to hunt. He wants to do all these kind of things. He watches all the shows on Netflix and everything. And I've never been that guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I want to help my son. You know what I mean? I want to bond with him. So as a total novice guy who wants to take my son on a hunt, what would you recommend for like the ultimate beginner?
Man, I think, when it comes to hunting deer, at least it's expensive, especially if you're going on a paid hunt. You know, it gets super expensive. But obviously, I don't know how much you guys shoot, what you shoot, but obviously that would be the first step. Go shooting together, find a spot, place
with the bow.
Oh, you want to go bow hunting?
Yeah, I'd rather go bow hunting.
Oh man, well you're gonna need a lot of practice. A lot of practice.
I mean, yeah,
bro. You see Chad Mendez and Cameron Haynes and all these guys. They're literally shooting every day. It's like work for them. They're shooting literally every day. Like personally, I have so many tears in my shoulder that I can't hold the bow past like 3 shots, like consistently pulling it back and stuff. So I don't have the energy and stuff to be able to practice because you need to practice like every day. And so plus I don't have the time either right now. Yep. But it takes a lot of practice. So if you want to go bow hunting, just make sure you practice a lot and be prepared to lose arrows depending on where you're shooting. Outside of that, I think it'd be like finding a good paid hunt. They've got good paid hunts in Texas, just so you can have someone there. You have a guide that'll show you kind of where the deer are, because you're pretty much guaranteed to get a deer. They'll even skin it for you and
what does that cost? You say it's expensive. Ballpark, what do you think you're talking for something like that?
Man, I think obviously inflation's been a while. I haven't been on one, but my friends used to go before COVID, and they were like 6,000.
Oh shit, per person?
Some of them are cheaper, but it depends on the deer. If you want a big buck, a big buck you're gonna pay for
a big buck, you're gonna pay big bucks.
exactly. So yeah, you're gonna pay money there. I know they got paid hunts in Texas to where you can just go and get like a doe because you want meat.
Right.
And those are I think only like $1,000-$2,000. Yeah. So they can be cheap, but that's a good time for you to go out there. You know you're gonna get something. You're gonna bring back meat. It's gonna be quartered for you. They're gonna drag it. Like you don't have to do any of the hard work. You know, as far as spotting it, getting to it. Sitting in a stand worrying if you're not going to get something, then dragging it, quartering it, like all those things like that, gutting it. A lot of people don't like gutting it. So yeah,
I used to work at a slaughterhouse, so I've done the killing element. We used to do 500.
Then you're half good. You're halfway there.
Did 500 cows a day. Everyone thinks I'm some like vegan or something. I've just never grown up being a hunter, but my son wants to do it, and I want to encourage that. Brendan, we've taken up enough time. Thanks for coming on again. I really appreciate it. Congratulations against Paul Craig. He's not an easy man to do that to. He really isn't. So very, very impressive stuff. I hope the Cannoneer fight comes off. If it doesn't, something of equal magnitude, because you have truly earned and deserve something like that. So all the best. Good luck with the promotion. What's it called?
All In Combat.
So there he is, the one and only Brendan Allen, not pulling any punches. And apparently people in the gym not pulling punches either. I don't want to speculate. And I certainly don't want to look, forget it. Who cares? Who do you think it was? Who do you think it was that sparked out cold Ian Garry? Because apparently this is doing the rounds.
I am instantly went and looked up Killcliff MMA fighters.
Schmilbert turns.
Before what?
Schmilbert turns.
Dude, before you even said it, I was looking at it. And then when you said it, that pause he had was so long. I was like, it probably is Gilbert Burns, dude.
Well, when he said a punch, I mean, Gilbert Burns packs a shot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, I said it on Monday's show. Ian just needs to stop responding to everything. Just let it pass. Let it slide. I think it seems to have died down a bit now, right? I don't think he's out here. I don't think he's responding to anything anymore. So, I mean, I have been traveling, but I haven't seen much.
Look, I don't know if he's been responding less, but I do know like the Ian Garry stories. When I was doing like the note section for this morning, it was like 40% of every story had a mention of Ian Garry. And one of them actually like kind of pertains to what Brendan was saying in the interview,
which is
about guidance, right? Like having the right people guiding the ship for him. Did you hear what the conversation he had in a podcast about running into Hamzat?
I did. For those that haven't, just set the scene.
Yeah. So Ian Garry says, tell you a funny story about Hamzat. We got into an elevator. Me and my wife were standing there, pressed the button, doors open. Hamzat and his missus. I'd love to have a fight here. I'd love to just swing hands with Hamzat in the middle of an elevator. The stories would have been effing cool. My missus is looking at me with her eyes popping out of her effing skull. And she's like, do it. Have a fight with him. In my head, I'm thinking my teammate's about to fight him tomorrow. I'm not effing ruining that. There's 2 effing women in here. Me and him are going to go to the death if we fight in an elevator. We step out of the lift and my wife just looks at me and goes, you're a pussy.
Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, God.
I'll say it. She's a villain.
She's a villain, Brian. Oh, my God.
Of a bad girlfriend. That's like
Oh,
what
my
comedy
God.
sketches are made of.
So, like, as Brian comes on looking like Darth Maul, you're saying, oh, God. Oh, because you're probably right.
That's bad.
I don't
That's
mean
bad
probably right,
people
but-
things.
But like, so Rebecca, because I was a very reckless young man. Do you know what I mean? I was angry and I was always getting into fights until I met Rebecca. And she would advise me against that kind of behavior.
Rebecca is a saint.
Don't do that. Control yourself. Exercise, a little bit of discipline. Don't be such a moron. Stop getting arrested. Don't make a dick out of yourself. Stop embarrassing the family. But on the flip side, she's calling him a pussy for not throwing down with Hamzat. Oh, dear.
And that's his manager, his publicist, his like runs everything person. And it's like, if that's the person you're getting advice from, of course you're turning into a very heelish character.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on, Darth Maul. Give me one.
Oh, I said it. I think she's a bad person. You should definitely get away from her. What the like that shit is insane.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I mean, he did say it because I was going to say you can't believe everything you hear on the internet or read on the internet, and you can't. But it did come from the horse's mouth. You know what I mean? And maybe that could have blown up into like a big fight, would have had a bit of press behind it. People would have talked about it, and maybe he could have got that fight. But do you want to fight Hamzat? I'm not sure.
Definitely not in an elevator with your wife next to you. I'll tell you that.
No. Oh, God, jeez. Oh, God. I'll tell you what, we're joined by Vicente Luque in a little bit, and I'm intrigued to hear what he's got to say on the whole situation because he's lucky. He's lucky. If he was fighting Colby Covington, could you imagine? And I don't want to repeat Monday's show, but if he was fighting Colby, my God.
What does it matter? Colby's going to be at the press conference. And he's dominating the headline. You know Colby's coming at him. That's a guy in his division who's having a tough time. Colby can't not go at him.
Yeah, but so on there, so he's got a history with Shavkat because he trained with him. He's got history with Vicente, and he's fighting Vicente. Colby's going to go at him anyway just because that's what he does. He's got history with Leon Edwards, and apparently Leon caught him with a head kick and sent him to the hospital. And I think that was Ian Garry's words as well. I saw a quote, I'm paraphrasing, where he said that his jaw, he had to go to the hospital. He ate the same head kick that Kamaru Usman did, and it wasn't fun. So that was very, it was honest and forthright of Ian Garry. So he's got potential conflict with everybody almost on stage. Do you know what I mean? Paddy Pimblett will probably just get involved with it. Tony Ferguson's going to have a do as well. Why not? Oh my God. Out of all of them, Tony's the craziest one up there.
Tony might be the type of guy to jump in and have Ian Garry's back, by the way.
What is the funniest? Tony is the type of guy, because those memes, if you don't know what I'm on about, you're not a real MMA fan, because they are everywhere. I mean, I've maybe looked some up, Brian, but there is some funny ones on there. My God.
Oh.
Tony is the type of guy. I mean, you see the training videos, you know what I mean? He's like doing breakdancing. He just had his ACL tour and all the rest of it. And I don't know what he was doing. He was jumping on all these crazy things. He's training with David Goggins, which I think is a great thing for his mind, not so much for the explosive power that he's going to need. But what is your favorite? Tony is the type of guy.
Tony, the type of guy to swim and not get wet. Tony's the type of guy to skydive without a parachute.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, what else does Tony be doing?
There's a lot. But anyway,
I just look, if there's one thing I could see, everybody ganging up on Ian Garry, I could see Tony Ferguson just rolling his baseball, being like, hey, we're talking about fights.
The fucking baseball. Yeah. He's like the Mexican American John Fury. You know, hey, no man alive should be talking about another man's wife. Yeah. Tony Ferguson flips the table and just starts throwing baseballs everywhere. Cans of Monster. Oh, shit. Anyway. Anything else?
No, I'm golden.
Well, good. Because guess what? Vicente Luque is here. Piss off. All right, today's episode is sponsored by X-Bar. And X-Bar is the new piece of home gym equipment that you can take with you on the road, and you can target every single muscle in your body with one piece of equipment. The X-Bar is an easy curl style bar that uses resistance bands instead of weight, so it's better on your joints. It comes with a massive range from 5 pounds to 480 pounds of muscle building resistance. It's basically a full gym in the palm of your hands. You just look up online, there'll be a bunch of exercises. You just put it in your bag, you take it in your car, take it to the park, have it in your garage, have it in your front room while you're watching your favorite TV show. You can pump in iron, but you're not pumping iron, you're pumping the X-Bar up to 480 pounds. Okay. You can see the results of a 45-minute workout in as little as just 10 minutes. It's safer for your joints. It has a lifetime warranty, and it has over 1,000 5-star reviews. I mean, what more do you want? Well, I'll tell you, 15% off. So right now, go to xbar.com/pages/believe. Use the code BELIEVE. You're going to get 15% off and free shipping. That is promo code BELIEVE when you go to xbar.com/pages/believe, from £5 to £480 with 15% off. What's up, Vicente? How you doing, buddy?
All good. Just training and getting ready for my fight.
Yeah. Well, it is a big fight as well. UFC 296, final one of the year. And your opponent, I know you know him well. I know you used to share the mats together. And he's the talk of the town right now. What do you make of all of this? Because you're going to fight him, and typically that would be an opponent. The opponent will be someone that's going to talk crap. And I actually said on my YouTube channel recently, I said, I think Ian's lucky because Vicente doesn't seem like the type of guy to talk that kind of shit. Am I right or wrong?
You're right. You're definitely right. Honestly, I'm not even really into what all is going on, because I've always kind of tried to, I look at this sport and I see it as a sport. I understand that there's so much more to it. There's all the way that the guys sell the fights, what the fans, all the fans, all that hype that is created. But for me, it has always been a sport. It has always been about going in there and really putting on a show. That's how I sell my fights. That's why I believe that a lot of the fans are always looking, after whenever I'm going to fight, they're really looking forward to that. So for me, it has always been about that.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Vicente. My laptop just acted weird for a second, but I could hear you. Obviously, he is a tremendously talented kickboxer, and he's having a great run. 6-0 in the UFC, 3 decisions, 3 finishes. I don't expect you to go into your game plan too much, but the welterweight division's on fire, and this fight card's kind of like a big highlight for the welterweight division. Obviously, Leon and Colby, Shavkat and Wonderboy, yourself and Ian Garry. If you go out there and get the job done, where do you think this puts you? And given the other fights that are happening, do you think you'll get one of the winners of them? Potentially a Shavkat. Well, you train with Shavkat, right?
Yeah. We're training a lot for this fight, but it's I've been talking to a lot of guys, and Killcliff is a great team, what we do has been working. So training with each other and with guys that are at the top just makes us sharper and sharper. But the consequence is eventually we're going to have to fight each other. So Shavkat, I look at a guy that definitely has, all the potential to go for a title fight and everything. And that's what I see, you know, eventually for a title or for an eliminator, we're going to have to face each other. You know, as I said before, the only guy I will not face is Gilbert Burns because we're brothers, much more than only teammates. But the other guys is something that we can't avoid. Now I'm fighting Ian, which we trained here together for a while. So, yeah, I mean, it's part of the game. And I think it's great to be in this card, moving with the division. You know, it's going to be a big night for the welterweight division. The title is going to be, you know, decided again. We'll see if Leon is going to keep that title. I believe he is going to keep it. And that's going to be an interesting night to see how we move from here. I know that Belal is there, hasn't fought, wants a title fight. And I'm looking forward, you know, to get a big dominant win against a guy in Ian, which is the up and coming prospect, and try to steal, you know, the show and maybe jump. Now it's a perfect moment to get a big jump in the division and try to get in that mix for the title.
Do you think? Well, first of all, before I ask you that, what do you think about that main event, Leon versus Colby? It's a clash of styles. You could argue that Leon beat the guy that Colby couldn't beat twice. You know, but who do you think is victorious in the main event?
I think it's a tricky fight because of the time that Colby has, you know, stayed off of fighting. And yeah, a lot of guys say, oh, but he has done that before and he always came back strong and good. That's true, but age is coming, you know, he's getting older and that's a factor. So for me, it just makes sense to see Leon beating Kamaru 2 times in spectacular fashion. He is still young, he's still evolving, he's still hungry, you know, he's just become champion. And everybody, I think anybody that is going to fight Colby is going to go hungry into a fight like that, because Colby is not the kind of opponent you just, you know, you don't get excited for. You do get excited to beat a guy like that. So I just feel the momentum is better for Leon, and I would go with his win, you know. I just think he has a better timing right now.
What do you think of Colby? Because obviously, I mean, you're Brazilian, right? And we know what he said down in Brazil years ago. And he's very brash and he talks a lot of shit and all the rest of it. But I've met him when he's just being Colby, not Colby, the character. And I don't know if he was, you know, putting an act on there as well, but I found him to be a very, very nice guy. What is your opinion?
I don't know him personally. And the truth is, like, I have respect for everybody. Each one chooses their own path. You know, some guys are going to be different than what they are personally so that they could get, you know, maybe more views and sell the fights better. I'm not a guy like that. I believe I got to be true to who I am and to what I believe. So all I can say is, like, the personality I see, I don't appreciate. You know, I don't like Colby, the way that he sells fights, the things he talks. I cannot, you know, appreciate that. I respect him as a person and I wish him well. But, you know, it's a guy that I would love to fight, you know, just to go out there and clash those two styles. I'm a guy that believes in hard work and just talking inside the octagon. He's the opposite. We can go there and see who does it better.
This is why I said Ian Garry is so lucky that he's fighting you, because you are a class act. I'm not kissing your ass. You know what I mean? You're like, it's not for me. Other people could have said a lot of harsher words. So in Killcliff, on a good day, there'll be you. There used to be Ian Garry. There'll be Shavkat. Who else? There used to be Kamaru. Who else?
He was
Gilbert
there today.
Burns.
So Kamaru still goes there every once in a while. Yeah. He has for a while now. He has been back, and I saw him sparring before he fought Hamzat. He went over there and sparred. So Kamaru, we have well, you know, guys from other shows like Jason Jackson that just got the Bellator title. We have Logan Storley, which was interim champion in Bellator as well. You know, a lot of welterweights, a lot of good. Li Jingliang sometimes is here as well. Yeah. The Chinese guy that fought Ian Garry a while back.
Oh,
here. So there are a lot of. Yeah, I don't remember. That's him. Yeah. So there's a lot of welterweights over here, you know, and I think that's Andre Fialio is another guy too. So yeah, there's a lot of talent, and I just feel like For me, it's since the days of Black Zillions, because that's when I worked with Henry, with Greg Jones, since those times, and it has always made sense to have such amazing guys, like so much talent in the same room working together. It wasn't at times hard to deal with it. Like Black Zillions, there was a lot of, ego, a lot of big guys, big names training together. That was hard to deal with it. But I feel like Henry and Greg, they just really managed to learn how to work through it and really bring a team together that we're family and we're always trying to help each other. And obviously, like sometimes we're gonna have fights. Like Kamaru ended up fighting Gilbert, and that was a hard situation. Now I'm gonna be fighting Ian, but we try to work the best way through it, and hopefully eventually, these guys can come back if they want to. Like Kamaru now is back training with us and having a good time.
Yeah, and Henry Hooft, I mean, what a legend of a guy. I've never trained with him, and I don't know him particularly well, but, being on the road with the UFC, we've shared a few conversations. Great guy. So Leon's going to beat Colby, in your opinion. I'm assuming you think Shavkat's going to beat Wonderboy, which is going to be a great fight. I'm assuming you think you're going to beat Ian Garry.
Yes, you assume me everything right.
How are you going to beat Ian Garry? What's going to happen? Well, I don't expect you to give strategy, but when your hand gets raised or if a stoppage happens, in what fashion will the stoppage come?
And I believe this is going to be a really exciting fight. I don't see it any other way because it's just the styles. I'm an aggressive fighter. Even whenever I go to the ground, I'm still looking to ground and pound to submit. Just really, I don't know how to fight at a different pace than going out there and really pushing the pace. Ian has shown to be, the same kind of fighter, the guy that is going to be walking forward. Sometimes he walks back, but still makes it exciting. Kind of Wonder Boy back in the day when he was a great, counter puncher and everything. So I feel like it is going to be a really exciting fight. I do believe I have the tools to finish him either standing or on the ground. So that's gonna be the mystery. Where am I gonna find it? And it's gonna be a lot to do with how the fight goes on, what his approach is gonna be to the fight, because it's different. Like, we've trained with each other, we kind of know certain things about each other, but a fight is a fight. I've trained with so many people, and sometimes I do well, sometimes I do bad, but that really many times is not what is gonna be in the fight. So I try not to base myself out of our trainings. I feel like I really want to go in there, see what he's going to present to me, and be ready for everything, be ready to strike against him. Maybe, who knows, maybe he's going to try to take me down. If I hit him hard with something, he's going to try to surprise me. So I'd rather stay ready and bring the action and push the pace than try to I'm just going to run him over wherever I think, I might think.
So Brendan was just on, as you know. I would ask, and he told me that he saw somebody with a punch put him to sleep. I would ask you who that was, but I know you're not going to say. So I can
tell you it was not me.
But it will be you on December 16th.
Yes, hopefully. Hopefully it will be me on December 16th if I find that hand and connect it.
Here's what I want to know. Has anyone ever said that you sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No.
Bro. Give me a get to the chopper.
Wait, let's
Gilligan.
Hasta la vista, baby.
You definitely sound a little bit like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Your sound is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you look a little bit like an old school Dean Lister.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
Maybe when I retire, I can do some action movies.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, Vicente, pleasure talking to you. This is the first time we've spoken like this, so it is truly a pleasure. I've been an admirer and a fan of your work for a long time. What is, to tell the people something that we might not know about you? Do you have children? Are you a family man?
Yeah, so I have one son. He's 2 years old, 2.5 right now. I'm married, and, I think some people know I've started to share on my YouTube. So I started a YouTube about a little more than a year ago, and I'm trying to share a lot of my two passions outside of fighting that are motorsports. So I love cars, and I go to the track myself and drive and kind of race. and also cooking. So I love food. I love eating. Now it's a hard time because I'm cutting weight. So I stay like thinking about food all the time. But it's something I like to do as well. So yeah, those are curiosities about.
What is the YouTube channel?
YouTube is Vicente Luque. And you can find it, yeah.
And what is the signature dish? If I'm coming over to your place and you're trying to impress me, or if you wasn't married, before you were married, before you met your wife, she was coming over and you wanted to cook something super special, what would that be?
I didn't know it because I learned that only after, but sourdough pizza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's really
I would have
good.
thought something
really
a bit fancier. I mean, don't get me wrong, sourdough pizza is beautiful.
No, yeah, it's the sourdough is the fancy part of it.
No,
and it's Neapolitan style, so it's like that really thin crust.
Yeah.
What's
the toppings? What's the go-to?
So I do.
Don't give me none of this anchovy bullshit.
Yeah, no. I like one that it doesn't have red sauce, but it has pesto sauce, and then I do with blue cheese, mozzarella cheese, and then I'll improvise. Sometimes I do goat cheese or some other kind of cheese and basil.
Well, that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Well.
Good. And you can put some prosciutto on it.
If he gets the job done. Listen, brother, thank you for your time today. All the best in the fight on December 16th. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Take care.
My man. Thank you, brother. Vicente Luque, a.k.a. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Are you telling me no man alive can say that he did not sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, dude, if he was working at a kindergarten near me, I would be very suspect.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's all I could hear. That's why sometimes I was smiling. Do you know what I mean? Because I was like, I just wanted him to say, get to the chopper or something like that. Do you know what I mean? And then like he'd carry on talking. I think, all right, stop being an idiot. Oh, dear. What a guy. That, Vicente is brilliant inside the octagon. I've said hi to him a few times, of course, things like that. I've commentated a couple of his fights, but I've never had a good conversation with him. And he's got a great personality.
Yeah, he really is. He was very fun to talk to. And I mean, dude, that
guy as well.
The version of Vicente that showed up to that RDA fight, man, I didn't expect that with a year off. So I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, and a man that loves cooking. And his speciality is the sourdough pizza. Gotta say, I'm sure it's delicious. A little bit disappointed in the choice, though.
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit. Also, sourdough for a pizza? Really?
Brian, what is your favorite kind of pizza? Because for me, I used to go all in on the meat. You know what I mean? The meat feast, if you will. But it's just too much now, and it kind of makes me feel a bit sick. It's little bit gross. I prefer, less is more, I find, these days on the pizzas.
I just like a classic pepperoni pizza. Maybe Sicilian.
Classic.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Classic.
Have you tried the pepperoni with the hot honey?
No. But what is your favorite? Is it pepperoni with hot honey?
Right now, yeah. That's been really good lately.
When we were in Vegas, there was a place that had that on it, and it was delicious.
Vegas is amazing. It is amazing. I was just here. I'm just here. I'm still here in Austin. And right before we did the show, I was starving. And I squeezed a quick meal in. Across the street, there's a place called Moonshine. If anyone's from Austin or been there, they'll know what I'm talking about. It's like an old house converted into a restaurant.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome. Yeah. Moonshine. I met this server called Ben. He rushed me a beautiful fried chicken sandwich. Oh my God. I love a good fried chicken sandwich. But anyway, whatever. Who cares? We're not here to hear about that. What's going on in the world of mixed martial arts, Herringbone?
Well, seeing as we just had a couple of welterweights, Vicente Luque, welterweight division, talking about all the contenders there might be a new one. Dana White was on the Full Send podcast recently, and he had the big board behind him of all the fights. And a lot of fans pointed out that there was Kevin Holland's name was on there, and he was matched up with an M. Page.
Yes.
People assuming Michael Venom Page finally.
Well, who else would it be? You know what I mean? But I did see that Kevin Holland came out and said that it's not happening. I also did see that Michael Venom Page came out recently just to give him his full title. And he said that, of course, the UFC would be somewhere he would love to sign, but there's other options and possibilities with the PFL and stuff like that. And there's no deal done yet. So I don't know. You don't know who to believe. I'm not sure what that means. But I would love to see Michael Venom Page in the UFC. I mean, what he's capable of, his kickboxing is phenomenal. It really, really is. I was surprised. This is no diss on Mike Perry that Mike Perry beat him, but I think Mike Perry's just suited to bare knuckle. But Michael Venom Page, I think he would be a fantastic addition. And Kevin Holland, what a great first matchup.
Dude, I mean, talk about a guy who we just watched it in the Wonder Boy fight. He refused to go to the ground even when he had him there. You want to see Michael Venom Page on full display, all of his skill set. Kevin Holland is the opponent.
Yeah. So, well, listen, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. But I, for one, if you want my vote, let's get him in the UFC. No offense to the PFL.
It would be hilarious if that fight happens and Kevin Holland was like, I remember what happened last time. We're staying on the ground.
Yeah, no. And Kevin Holland had a bloody broken hand as well. Might have been a good idea.
Might have been.
Stay on the ground.
But man, it was entertaining.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, this is just rumors, if you will. I did see Dana as well talking about, I don't know if it was the same podcast, but I saw a clip that's doing the rounds. And Brian, maybe you want to jump on for this, where Dana's talking about this generation and how they've gone soft. And if we go to war, World War III, if all these kids get drafted, what's going to happen? Do you know what I mean? And I'll be honest. It's not going to be good. Okay, it's not going to be good. If we all went to war right now and we sent, Z or what is it?
Yeah.
Gen Z?
Yeah. The pronoun generation? No.
Pronouns. Yeah, like they're on the battlefield with the machine guns and whatnot. And they're like, get him. Excuse me. Yeah. It's they, them. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry, bud. Head blown off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just societally we're soft. Like the fact that there's words you have to pussyfoot around that 5 years ago you absolutely didn't need
Tell
to.
me about it.
It's, the fact that people just don't have a real struggle in their life these days, it makes people more apt to go towards these things that don't really matter. And then now that they're used to having struggles that don't matter, if you have one that actually does, your whole world's going to fall apart.
Yeah, you are correct to a certain degree, but I do think it's a little bit of a sweeping generalization. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
At what point, like, if it all kicked off, I mean, I'm 44. I'll get involved. I'll have a do. I'm retired.
Bro.
I've got no knees. I've got one eye. I don't know if I'll pass the medical test. Do you know what I mean? But put me in, bruv.
Yeah. You're going to defend this land?
Well,
you're as American as they come, Bisping.
We're allies. We are allies. And I'll tell you what, I will fight before Callum goes in. Do you know what I mean? There's no way. If they need a Bisping, if they need to draft a Bisping, they're taking me. They're not taking Callum. Sure as hell not taking Lucas. Ellie, I don't think they'd want her. She's too busy on a horse and acting lessons.
Thankfully, we're not conscripting people at the moment. So.
No, not yet.
I did see something that actually kind of sent a chill down my spine.
Go on.
So the new Army recruitment ads, just all corn-fed white boys.
Oh, yeah. They went from being like, here, everybody can have a pronoun in the Army, to watch these giant moose men jump out of a plane and shoot shit. Like
Dude.
that, the commercials have definitely changed tones.
They are trying to recruit.
They were the kind of commercials that got me to want to join the Army. I mean, I was born on an Army base. My dad was in the Army. My brother Conrad was in the Army before he had his accident, had a pickaxe stuck in his head. My brother Adam is in the Army. You know, we are a military family. I tried to join the Army, but because I got arrested for a few bar fights, they wouldn't take me.
Better off.
That's absurd.
Isn't that crazy?
Literally,
you fucked up, guys.
Vietnam was like you could go to jail or you could go to Vietnam, and then by the time it got to like the Gulf War, they were like, "Nah, we're good."
Yeah. You remember those commercials where they had like the SEALs coming out of the Black Lakes with their hats on, and they were like, and you were just like, "Oh, I want to be one of those dudes so bad."
Yeah.
That shit ended. They didn't do that for like 20 years because they were just like, "Oh no, everything's great." With pronouns, and now we're back to bad men doing bad things so good people can sleep at night.
Yeah, listen, just because your knickers in a twist over your pronouns doesn't mean you can't pull a trigger, sausage. From one sausage to another, to quote Tyson Fury, he likes to use that word. There's talk of a super fight going down, Harrington. Give us the inside info. Not the inside info, the statement from one Dana White.
This is very much outside info. But he said, Dana, on that same Full Send podcast, he said, we're talking, they asked him about super fights. He said, we're talking about one right now, actually, that just popped a few days ago. So I can't talk about it. Every fight you would consider a super fight would involve McGregor, but this one isn't. No.
Yeah. So we were talking off air. Don't play coy. Don't make me ask you. No. What do you think the super fight is? Because I'll be honest, when I saw that, I was racking my brain. And I couldn't think of what it is. Because generally when you think super fights, my mind went to, obviously, McGregor. It went to champion versus champion. It went to somebody that's not in the organization coming in and, like someone insane. I don't know. Not that Dwayne Johnson, you know what I mean? But someone so unexpected. But what did you think it was?
I think that's what we're leaning towards. Something's very unexpected. I've just been seeing rumors swirl around the internet that Nick Diaz is getting back in shape and GSP is feeling the itch again. I don't know. I saw Chael talk about it. I saw a couple of people talk about that. So I hope it's that. Yeah.
I just, if it is George St. Pierre, just don't bloody lose.
For real.
Make a right dick out of me. Do you know what I mean?
Dude,
I just like, when he retired, I was like, thank fuck. Just retire on top. Don't fight again and lose because it's going to reflect badly on me.
Dude, that honestly, if it's the Nick Diaz that showed up for the Robbie Lawler fight, I think you're good, Mike.
Yeah.
But those two were supposed to grapple for the UFC Invitational. That got postponed.
They fought before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong, George is a massive draw, always will be, and he's one of those guys that just always stays in shape. He's so meticulous about what he puts in his body, how he treats his body, I've got endless respect for George. He's such a great guy. And listen, if George comes back, and I guess that would be like a real old school throwback fight, of course, a rematch, I think if I remember correctly, I haven't seen it in a long time. Diaz did pretty well in that as well.
From what I remember, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I remember
5 rounds, went to a decision. So
I remember George talking about him being one of his toughest opponents.
Brendan Schaub, I think, first broke the news.
Yeah, he had the theory on it. I got a super fight for you.
Go on.
That does not involve Conor McGregor.
Go on then.
Talked about back in 2008.
Go on
2012, 2015.
Go on
Brock Lesnar and recent free agent Fedor Emelianenko.
Oh, shut up.
Finally makes his UFC debut. Bring back Brock for one more fight. The fight we all wanted to see. Tell me I'm not selling you, Michael Bisping, as the third fight down on UFC 300.
Brock
from a
does it for
hardcore 2006 fan base perspective, yes. Do you know what I mean? From a ESPN 2023-2024 Gen Z pronoun perspective, no. They can't even pronounce Emelianenko, let alone want to watch him fight.
Brock Lesnar, though, is a huge draw even to this day.
And who else are you going to have Brock fight? One of the ranked UFC heavyweights now after being out of the company for 7 years? Come on, man. They need to bring someone in specifically to fight Brock if they're going to bring Brock back. Who better than Fedor?
Yeah, no, listen, I'm joking. Fedor Emelianenko, but he's past his prime, isn't he, in a big way. When I think super fights, my mind automatically, rightly or wrongly, goes to different weight classes, champion versus champion. You know what I mean? Potan is the light heavyweight champ. I don't think he's going to go up and face Tom Aspinall.
No.
I don't think anyone's going to go up and face Tom Aspinall.
Not on purpose.
Islam Makhachev.
Yeah, maybe Islam fights
Leon or Colby.
Yeah.
We gotta. To be fair, though,
what did Dana say? He said it's somebody not in the organization.
No, he didn't say that. He just said it was a super fight that wasn't involving Conor McGregor, and it actually just popped a few days ago. He said so.
All right.
I mean, technically, if Leon and Colby still have to fight, there's no way there's negotiations for an Islam versus the winner fight yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, so we got Manel Kape joining us, a man that is biting on the heels of a shot at the flyweight championship, a man that is talking a lot of crap about city kickboxing, Kaikara France. He's pulling no punches when it comes to Israel Adesanya. Let's have a little chat with the guy. All right, today's episode is sponsored by Prize Picks, which is the largest independently owned daily fantasy sports, better known as DFS, the biggest platform in North America, and they are the easiest and the most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers. So you're not battling against thousands of other professionals and sharks. You just pick more or less. And it's as simple as that. You versus the numbers. So, for example, this weekend, we've got a massive fight card, okay? It's going down in Austin, Texas. That's where I am. In the main event, we've got Arman Tsarukyan taking on Beneil Dariush. It's this easy. Will he get more or less than 2.5 takedowns? Jalen Turner, over or under 53.5 significant strikes. Rob Font, will he land over or under 65.5 significant strikes? And will Brady versus Gastelum go over or under 12 and a half minutes? I'll tell you right now, Tsarukyan is going to get more than 2.5 takedowns. Jalen Turner is going to land more. Rob Font will get more, and Kelvin Gastelum versus Brady, I don't know about that one, but still, as I said, it's that easy. It really is. And winning money has never been more fun. Prize Picks offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday every Tuesday. Prize Picks discounts select player projections of up to 25% to provide even more value. And Prize Picks now offers Apple Pay for quick and easy deposits into your account whenever you want to play. So, I mean, come on, what more do you want to do? Make some money, have some fun, look like a pro, support the show. So let's go. Where do you go? prizepicks.com/believe. The code is believe, and you are going to get a deposit match of up to $100. prizepicks.com/believe. The code is believe for a first deposit match of up to $100. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a first for the show. Thank you for joining us, the one and only Manel Kape. Manel, where are you joining us from, brother? It looks like a nice, fancy place you're in there.
I'm at home. I'm at home. I'm in Vegas.
Okay. It's a good job I didn't say anything bad. You're coming at us from a right shithole. Mate, it's great to talk to you. I've been a big fan of your work for a long time. I guess we'll start with your last fight, which was against Felipe Dos Santos. Tremendous back and forth battle. But a lot of the talk going into that fight was not about your opponent. It was about Kaikara France. It was about Israel Adesanya. Talk me through that whole situation. What happened and where did all this animosity come from?
First of all, about Kaikara France, I was supposed to fight him, and he texted me in Instagram like say, "Hey, better you show up," He leave the comments in my pictures. Better you show up. Like I was like, this tell me this. Like I always show up. I always show up. And okay. And then when I was in Australia, because I came to Australia early, 1 month before the fight, I bring my guys, and I have a friends there, and bring my partner trainer and my coach and everything 1 month after the fight, and 2 weeks or 3 weeks of the fight. Funny is because I take a screenshot on Kaikara France comment on my picture, and 2 weeks on the fight, this guy deleted the comment, And I tell to my friend, to my best friend, this guy gonna pull out. He say, no way, believe me, this guy's gonna pull out to the fight. Yeah, why you say that? Why you say that? Because this guy, like, he come to my picture and delete the comments. Is for me, it means something happened, And then guess what? Mickey called me, say, hey, this guy, Kaikara France pull out to the fight. He's not gonna fight you, So this because I was mad, This because I was mad on him. Oh,
you were mad. You were throwing water bottles all over the place. You were stealing the show. I mean, with a press conference full of trash talkers.
Let's be real.
Please.
You pull out to the fight. You pull out. You're not gonna fight. Why you show up in press conference?
Yeah. Yeah, fair point. Trying to
Why
get the
show up?
limelight.
Why show up like in a press conference? I was shame on me if something happened. I'll tell you. 1 week for the fight, I was in my cut on my cut weight to fight Felipe dos Santos, and my friend is my partner training is bigger than me. We was training, and he gave me a knee to my ribs, to my hips, and I broke my rib on this fight. I broke to my ribs, and I called to my manager Ali. Hey, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. If I just make a pressure, like I can't breathe. He say, you wanna cancel the fight? I say no. Let's go. Like I'm not gonna be in situation like I've been talking the situation about Kaikara. Now I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be like him. So I was like, I don't have nothing to lose. You know what I mean? I don't have nothing to lose. And I was not afraid to fight him. So this is what I feel about Kakara. If you have a concussion, like he say in a fight, and then he say because situations being a father, this mix a lot of his emotions, all this kind of stuff. So he couldn't fight. Like it's because he was a little bit afraid to fight. This is my point.
You think he was afraid?
If you are confident, you go. You have 3 weeks. Concussion. We are fighters. Like next day, we are already in the gym.
Yeah. Well. I mean, I know you've got a fight coming up, but I would have thought the next fight for you would have been Kai Kara France, given the amount of press that it got. Everybody saw that. Why didn't that fight come together?
Actually, this fight was supposed to happen in December. Was to happen in December, and UFC sent me the contract. They called me
for Kai.
Yeah, for Kai France. Let's fight for December. I was in vacation. I was at home. I was in Portugal, and Ali called me. Hey, let's fight Kai France in December. Yeah, okay. My flight was just for end of the month, October. I was in September. I changed my flight for next 3 days, to come to start training in Vegas. I come back home, and when I came to Vegas, Ali called me, come to my house. Yes, he live like 5 minutes from me. I come to his house. He told me, hey, this Kaikara said that it's just gonna be ready in April.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not gonna wait him till April.
No, of course.
I'm not gonna wait him to April. Doesn't matter situation. I don't force situation. All this, of course, it's good. All this kind of stuff. All this make trash talk. All this attention for the media and this stuff. I'm not looking for this. I'm not the type of the fighter that looking for this. My things happen. It's natural. I'm looking for this. If I was looking for this, I was waiting for Kakar. I'm waiting for this fight because this is the fight. Like it's gonna be entertainment for the people because they see all these talks. But it's not. I'm not in this sport for this kind of stuff. This is not my thing. I'm here because I want to fight. I want to be a champion again. This is my goal and my purpose.
Okay. Well, hopefully that fight still happens because I think with all the history there, and Kai's a great fighter, right? I'm sure you.
Yeah. Yes. I didn't say that he's not a great fighter.
No, of course.
At that time, he excited me. So. Is the kind of the athlete that make me train hard and make me training not just training but make me training my details, my strategy. So I was very excited for this fight.
Yeah.
But I can tell you it's gonna be more easy than I was told.
Do you know what one of the funniest things I ever saw was at the press conference? And you just, if I remember rightly, you jump out of your seat and you start talking shit to Izzy. Do you know what I mean? You were going after everybody. I'm assuming Izzy was defending Kai Kara France, but talk me through it from your perspective.
the thing is, I was like pissed off. This like I was seeing a car in front of me.
I've never seen you like that before.
It was like, how this can come here and show up in press conference. This was in my mind, you know. I was like, you're not a man, you know. I was putting me when I talk shit to someone, always I put myself in their position, you know. I put myself in the position of someone after the talk. I always think twice. I know what I'm gonna say, and I like to think. But it's like, in that moment, this, you know, start to make me feel bad. You know, I was like not comfortable to see him there. You know, as a man, as a fighter, as an athlete. You know, we have the pride. We have the balls. You know, and I was just like comfortable, and I have to throw something. And when I see the bar, it was just instinct. You know. Yeah. I throw him, and he stand up like you can hurt him or something like that. Was like your friend can defend himself, you know. He was like this talk, this shit. Like I was looking to his like he's just a normal guy. Like I sing every day that I eat in breakfast. Like if we fight that, I told him after that we come to the backstage, and I told him, hey, he come to me and say, hey, what was the words he told me? Hey, no disrespect, brother. I say for him, hey, we not brothers. First of time, we not brothers. First of all, we not brothers. Not think that just because we from Africa, we not brothers. Second, Kakara can defend himself. And third, you think that I'm acting? Do you think that I'm some kind of athlete, bro? If you wanna fight, let's fight here without camera, without nothing. I swear to God, I smoke you here in the street. You can beat a brother. I have 100% or 1000% in the street. I smoke him easily, you know, because you can see it is it's kind of a type of fake person, you know, a really fake person. And he acts all the time. So his attitude was like, for what? You know, for what? Why you stand up? You just make you look bad, you know.
Wow. Okay, he's really going after Izzy here. The man's going through a tough time right now. He just lost his belt. He said he's going to take some time off.
I told him, hey, pay attention on Strickland. I told him, pay attention on Strickland. Like he said to Strickland when Strickland started talking to him in the first press conference against Pereira. He told him, hey, pay attention on Pereira because you're gonna get knocked out. And I told the same, bro. Be careful. Be careful what you wish for.
Sounds like, because as I said, I've seen you fight and you're phenomenal in the octagon. You had a great career fighting for Rising in Japan as well. When I see you at the Apex, you're there enjoying yourself, and you know, obviously, you know, you're in a good mood and stuff. You grew up in Portugal, correct?
Yes, I grew up in Portugal. I born in Angola, in Africa, in Angola, Luanda. But I grew up in Portugal since my 2 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. I left Angola very early.
Manel Kape on the streets of Portugal. Is there a few tales to tell?
But I'm undefeated in the street. I swear to God, I'm undefeated in the street. I was fighting all the gypsies guys in the street. You know how we grow up in Europe.
Oh,
you know,
of course.
You know, we grew up in Europe. You know, we have all these guys, all these fighting schools. I have a lot of gypsies, so you have to protect yourself all the time.
Yeah, no. A friend of mine, he teaches jiu-jitsu. He's from Portugal. He's told me a few tales as well. What's the other Portuguese fighter? Oh, my mind.
André Fialho.
André Fialho. Yeah. Did you guys know each other?
Yeah, of course. We are very good brothers. We are very.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah, yes. We are very good brothers. This guy is a very human being. You know, he's very good, great character, and nice person to be around.
So tell me about this fight that you've got coming up with Mateusz Nicolau. Is that still in December? Is that
no? It's in January 13.
Where's that? At the Apex?
Apex is the first event of the year. It's the first event of the year. Actually, I was supposed to fight Brandon Moreno. I was supposed to fight
Really?
Brandon Moreno. Yes, I was supposed to fight Brandon Moreno. And we were thinking because Amir was in injury, and this fight's supposed to be in December. It's supposed to be in December. I was talking to the Mickey, and but Brandon wants to fight in Mexico. I truly understood,
Yep.
in his country, and he wants to fight with his fans in front of his fans. But he's truly understood, and so we move on. And the only fight right now that makes sense and that was available was Mateus Nicolau, and so for me, it's a good fight too, to show that I won the first fight we have, clear, and right now I'm a different fighter, and I've been shown that I'm in different level than most of the flyweight division, so I think I'm gonna be very motivated for this fight. You have some history, so it's good to me. It's good to me.
Okay, so January 13th. That's a bit of a pain in the ass. That means all over Christmas, all over New Year's, when everyone else is enjoying themselves, you're going to be in the gym. Are you a guy that likes to enjoy yourself? What do you do between training camps?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not too good. Person to
You're not too good?
I'm not too good to. No, I'm very focused.
Sure, but you like to let your hair down.
I'm very focused. Like
yeah.
Sometimes after.
Yeah.
I go around, Yeah. Not just living, not just in Vegas. Whatever place in the world, not just in Vegas. I have to chill a little bit more, If
it's funny. When I was fighting, I was a bit of a maniac. Do you know what I mean? I was younger. I was still partying a lot and stuff like that. And now that, obviously I'm older, but I'm not fighting anymore. I take way better care of myself now that I'm not fighting than I did when I was fighting. And I regret that so much. Are you a guy that 365 days a year, though, even though you go out and you enjoy yourself a little bit, you treat your body like an athlete?
Yeah, I treat, because I have some kind of the balance, when it's time to work, I work. I really work. I put in work. I train 3 times a day, just for, I train 3 times a day, every day. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., you're going to find me in the gym, always, but when it's time after 2 a.m., sometimes 3 or 4, I went to gym.
Why at that time?
I'm a night guy, but I like to training, because my schedule is 9 a.m. my training, 9 a.m. Then I come back home, rest, eat, sleep 2 hours, then go back to training again, 3:30. Then come back home, do what I have to do, sleep a little bit more, and then I'm up again to go training again at night, But when it's time, yes, in Vegas is good because we have a 24-hour gym and all this stuff. But when it's time to work, I put in work. When I really put in work, when it's time to work, I let all these kind of parties, all these distractions, everything, they don't distract me, and nothing influence me to do the things that I don't want to do. I'm not influenced to anything, to bad stuff. So now, if I want to do something, if I did some things, because I did. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, but when it's time after the fight, brother, get away from me. Get away from me.
Time, brother. You can get me out of retirement, not for the fighting. Maybe I'll come. You know what I mean? So you came over with a massive reputation. Okay, I'd heard your name many, many times. You signed with the UFC. Your debut is against Pantoja, who's now the champion. Then you fought Mateus Nicolau, the man that you're going to rematch. Then after that, you've gone on a very, very impressive streak, and you've shown what you're truly capable of. So this fight for you, is it number one, you get revenge, you get to show your real self. Number two, obviously you extend your win streak. And if you get the job done there, then what you think you'll be fighting maybe a number one contender matchup, or maybe the winner of Pantoja and Royval?
This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. But I'm not the guy that dictates the fighters. I'm not the dictator who I'm gonna fight. But I truly believe that I'm the man to fight to the title. After this fight, I'm the man to fight to the title. Because right now it's just about waiting for other fighters. You know what I mean? These years I have five fights canceled. You know, I just fight one time. You know, and I'm thinking if I was supposed to fight all these fights, I was already end of the year definitely fight for the title. You know, so it's not my fault. You know,
No,
it's
no,
things happen. I understood things happen, but all the time I show up and I make the weight. So after the Matheus Nicolau with a great performance, UFC should really give me the title shot. You know.
Yeah, I mean, because well, number one, who do you think wins, Pantoja or Royval?
Pantoja or Royval?
Who do you think wins?
Pantoja, definitely. Pantoja, definitely.
I agree.
No doubts. No doubts. Pantoja is most consistent than him, but Brandon Royval is unpredictable. This guy is not too technical, but he throws some weird stuff. You know,
He's wild.
Yes, he's wild. I prefer fight with someone that know how to fight than someone that don't know how to fight. You know,
Yeah.
this is what I look at when I look at Brandon Royale. I see someone that don't know how to fight. You know,
How can you predict or plan for them when they don't know what they're going to do?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, no,
definitely,
people like
definitely.
that, they're wild, they're unpredictable, and sometimes you get caught with something crazy. No, I get
It's
it.
like you do jiu-jitsu with a white belt.
Yeah,
It's
they're a
just
pain in the
beginning.
ass.
You hurt yourself. You're gonna
Yeah.
hurt yourself.
They're fucking
You know.
flipping about all
Yes,
over
yes.
the place. They're like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? This is what I see when I saw Brandon Royale fighting. You know,
Okay.
this guy is wild. You know,
How long you lived in Vegas?
I live in Vegas 3 years.
What do you miss
years,
about living in Portugal?
Ah, the culture, first of all.
Okay.
The culture. I'm not look like, but I'm very reserved. You know,
Okay.
I'm very reserved. Don't look like, but I'm very reserved.
No, you are, especially when you're throwing water bottles and taking on the middleweight champion of the world. You're a very reserved, quiet guy.
No. I'm not quiet guy. You know, I'm always been the troublemaker. That's cool, but I improve a lot. I really improve a lot. Believe me, people look at me when I come to Portugal. They look like Manel. You're different. You know,
Nice.
you're very different. The fight make you a different person. Because when I was a soccer player, I was very cocky and very like. Brother, but always being very respectful. You know, I grew up in a family with a very religious, you know,
Okay.
and we preserve a lot our principles in a life, and I just believe that not everything worth and is not everything for attention. You know what I mean? So I have this kind of principles in a life that I always follow and don't look like, but I'm very reserved. And when I see some scandal, sometimes I feel shame for others. You know, you know what I mean. So
You probably felt some shame for me then, because I've I've had a lot of scandals over the years.
No. I have more scandals, brother. We just see now young Garry. You know, we just see this kind of stuff. But
Where's got better food? Vegas or Portugal?
No, bro, no. My plans here is open a restaurant because I cook a lot. It's my main hobby, and that I want to make in the future a work. My job is be a chef, and Portugal is I have like the best food not the best food in the world, the best culture, but Japan and Portugal. This is my main countries of the food, Japan and Portugal. It's so delicious. The food is just that is just different. It's just really really different. I miss that food. I miss the culture and the neighborhood because like you grow up in Europe, you have your neighborhoods. Always we know each other, all each other. You know, we can talk to each other. Here, no, we don't have this kind of culture. And so, but I love living in Vegas.
Of course.
I love living in Vegas because this is the place when I was younger, when I was watching YouTube, all these kinds of Floyd Mayweathers, Roy Jones Jr., where they live. And I said to my friends, one day I'm going to live in Vegas, where Floyd live, you know. So was my dream as a younger live in Vegas. So
it's funny that you said that one of your hobbies or loves or passions is cooking. We just had Vicente Luque on. He said the same thing. Now his signature dish is a pizza, which I'll be honest, I was a little disappointed. Don't get me wrong, I love pizza, but I thought he'd say something a little bit
I don't
more.
I don't eat pizza. I don't eat.
But you 125, bro. You know.
But I don't eat this
carbs.
No, I eat a lot of carbs. I eat a lot of carbs.
But let's just say you're having a dinner
octopus. Hey, no, a dinner part. I'm gonna cook some octopus.
Ooh.
Octopus with yes. Now I will cook some octopus. Boil. I'm gonna boil for 45 minutes. Then I'm gonna slide them and with wine, a little bit wine.
Okay. White wine,
red wine, and the butter there to grill, and then I'm gonna put it in the oven, and then I'm gonna do some mussels.
Okay.
Mussels.
Yeah.
Yes, some mussels. Yeah, I'm gonna put some mussels. I'm gonna bake some potatoes, some good potatoes, potatoes with some cheese or something like that, and then some parsley, cilantro, garlic. Brother, you're gonna love it.
It sounds amazing. I'm waiting for the invite, Manel. I'm waiting for the invite. Brother, thank you for your time today. And I want to say thank you to Ali Abdelaziz for helping me set up all these interviews today. Good luck in the next fight. Hopefully see you soon at the Apex. And one more time, thank you very so much. Manel Kape there pulling no punches when it comes to Israel Adesanya. What do you think? Manel Kape, Israel Adesanya, down a dark alley. Who wins?
Look, the guy's undefeated in a street fight. I don't know what Izzy's street fight record is, but I know Manel has never taken an O, so I got to go with the undefeated guy.
Manel Kape's going to take Israel Adesanya. Okay. Oh, dear. Shout out Manel, though. Nice to talk to him. Guys, thank you to all the guests for coming on. Thank you to you guys for being here. We're going to do some questions now. If you have a question, please send it into bympod@gmail.com.
And if you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you find podcasts, make sure to subscribe. Leave us a 5-star rating, positive review. It really helps out on all those platforms. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to find out whenever a new episode drops. And if you want to catch over 500 episodes you can't find anywhere else, completely ad-free and totally uncensored, head to gasdigital.com. Use the promo code BYM. Get a 7-day free trial. Check out which one of your great shows on the network.
All right. First question we got here today. This gentleman didn't leave his name, but he's asking about DJ Mikey B stuff.
What's up, Michael Bisping, Anthony Lionheart Smith? I just had one question for you. So, first off, I'm a DJ musician myself, just here in my studio. So I was interested to see if Michael Bisping had a good story about, either his wildest night DJing or maybe his worst night DJing, because I know drunk people can really be a headache, maybe knocking your shit over or, keep just pestering you to play a song you don't have or something like that. And I was also wondering if Michael Bisping could say, shout out to Beijing Records, and then I can sample that shit, put in the song. You know what I mean? But yeah, guys, that's all I got for the podcast.
Beijing Records?
Daydream Records.
Guys, I'll say it in a normal voice. Right about now! Shouts out to Daydream Records! Shout out to Daydream Records. Shout out to Daydream Records.
Dude, you're going to be on 97 tracks of this guy now.
You're here with 97.1, and stay tuned, everybody. It's Daydream Records coming at you big. All right, so, my God, bad DJ stories. Jesus Christ, there's a lot. There was a lot. I used to DJ at this nightclub called Monroe's. Great place. Bit of a dive, bit of a dump, a lot of characters. I've told some stories before about it when somebody stole my records and stuff. But there was a lot of illegal substances in that nightclub, as you can imagine, like in the rave days, in the heyday of the 90s and the 2000s. And it got raided and shut down. And I played the last ever record, and I was DJing. And all of a sudden, because there was like loads of little chavs and gypsies that always wanted to MC and grab the microphone and stuff. So you'd be DJing and you'd look around. There was some little dickhead going, blah, 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 blah. I'm not shutting up, like trying to rap over the music and stuff. And I'd always like, get the microphone off him and always shut the door, you know, and I'd lock it. And then a battering ram just smashes the door off. Riot police running the DJ booth. They got helmets on, they got shields. It's England, so they got truncheons. Do you know what I mean? And they just go, fucking, the record scratches across. I'm like, oh, bro, don't scratch my record. Like, get your hands up. I'm like, whoa, shit. There we go. I'm like, I'm doing nothing. The music went off, and I had no idea what was going on. I was in the zone. And there was literally, Brian, if you Google it, Monroe's nightclub, raided, shut down, police, Great Harwood, something like that. You'll find some news stories. There was about 300 police officers, 300 riot police shut the club down, and everyone in the club had to stand there and have their hands up, you know. And they came and they raided the club. They shut it down. The owner, Ian, got carted away. He got arrested, and club closed after police raid. Yeah, there it is. I don't know who that is. But, it's not the best news story. But still, you get the point.
It'd be so funny if you played a song like, everybody put your hands up, right before the cops made them. That would have been timed perfectly. Yeah. So anyway, everyone was like, basically not under arrest, but couldn't leave. You know what I mean? I was like, I wanted to get out of there. I was like, well, this is not going to go any further. They're not going to decide to, you know, right, we'll let you all off and put the music back on. So I started sweet talking the cop. You know what I mean? Like, and he's like, right. And he starts talking to me. He's asking questions. And I'm like, you know, I've driven down. I'd literally DJ'd somewhere else and I'd driven down there. And I said, what's going on? He says, well, we're raiding the place. We're searching. I'm like, oh, right. Okay. Oh, shit. Well, that's crazy. And he said, so what are you doing? I said, well, I don't know. I said, I just got booked to come here. I said, this is like one of several stops that I make. I said, I've just got it. I said, I've literally just got to have to put some records on. And I was just being as polite and respectable and being as nice as I could seem. You know, and I'm like, so when can we leave? He said, oh, people aren't leaving here for hours. He said, because we're going to search everybody one by one. We're going to search the premises and all the rest of it. And the place was packed. I'm like, oh, for crying out loud, this is going to take fucking hours. You know, so I was like small talking the guy, but like, you know what I mean? Just like being nice, but not overly kiss arsey. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, do I really have to stand there? Can I get out of here? And he goes, do you know what? No, you're good. And he goes to these other cops. He's fine. And I remember I got my 2 record boxes because back in the day you carried record boxes, you know. And I remember I felt like I was on the inside or something because everyone's standing there with their hands up on the dance floor, and I'm walking through my records, and they were letting me go. See you guys, see you. And it was like, well, why can he leave? Do you know what I mean? Did the DJ narc on us?
No, I didn't do the DJ narc. Do you know what I mean? I did the DJ smart. Do you know what I mean? Not kiss ass, but just seem like a nice, respectable human being, which of course I am. Do you know what I mean? And wasn't intoxicated. You know what I mean? Didn't have eyes like flying saucers. Clearly not looking like a rapscallion that's selling drugs, and I managed to get myself out of there. Another time I was DJing in there. Another time I was DJing in there, and at the front where you walked in, where you paid to enter the nightclub, I'd stand there in between DJ sets sometimes and just chatting away to some of the staff and the doorman. And then there was a huge stampede of people. They were just like the craziest stampede of people. And they're all crawling over each other, just desperately trying to get out. And I went behind like where you pay because it was insane. Right. And I'm like, what is going on? And people couldn't get through, you know, because everyone was rushing. And then all of a sudden, like everyone just kind of like, it was like Moses separating the ocean. Was it the ocean that Moses separated? The Red Sea, yeah, the sea of people separated. And then through the sea of people, there was a guy in a balaclava, black jacket, and samurai sword, just walking, and you could see his mouth just walking like that with a samurai sword right in front of him, right? And I was like, what the f*** has he walked past? And he'd been let in through the fire exit. He'd come in and on the dance floor, hacked somebody up with the samurai sword. So that's why everyone was scarpering out the club. So there was another one. I mean, there was a lot of shit like that went on in there. There was some very, very choice people, shall we say.
So was it like a targeted attack or was it just a random act of violence? Like he just
No, apparently there was some like inter-gang beef of gangs between drug dealers and stuff in Manchester.
And you settle it with samurai swords?
They settled it with samurai swords. We don't have the old pow-pows. Well, some of
what
them
happens
do.
when you don't have guns. People get their arms chopped off.
Yeah,
like
they
the
did.
samurai
They did.
movie.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's like one of probably 20 scenes like that I saw. Yeah. So it wasn't so much when I was DJing. It was in and around there. But, yeah, lots of fun little stories in escapades.
And you can hear more of those at Tales from the Octagon 2.
Oh, I mean, Harrington, you just got yourself a pay rise. You got from $1 an hour to $1.10. Brian, we got one more question.
Yeah. We have a question here from. Oh, he didn't leave his name either, but he's asking about injuries here.
Podcast. Here's my question. What's the most mad injury you've ever seen in jiu-jitsu, Thai boxing, whatever, training? You know, my most mad injury I've seen, Wrigley the Bulldog, tapped out 8 people, snapped 2 legs. That guy, he's got a dog in him. Wrigley the Bulldog was absolutely massacring everybody, basically. But anyway, Harrington, I love you all, but Harrington, I love you the most because you talk to me.
You talk to him, Harrington? Are you two like best mates?
I guess so. He didn't leave a name. I don't know who that was.
Don't lie. You guys are DMing each other every night. He certainly has an affection for you.
Maybe. I don't. Yeah, it could be.
Wrigley the Bulldog? What is this man talking about? Wrigley the Bulldog tapped out 8 people.
Snapped 2 legs.
It was the most ridiculous question we've gotten in a while. So I had to
you know, at the nightclub, this just popped into my head. At the nightclub, there was this one lady. She used to have one leg, right? She lost it due to cancer, which isn't funny, but before she lost a leg, she was always at the club, and then she got cancer and she had to have a leg chopped off. So she would still come down the nightclub and she'd dance on her crutches. Okay. And she sat down, and then because I had a tape, we used to tape record the sets back in the day, and MC Turbo, he gets on and he's like, right, who's got Sammy's crutchy? Sammy's crutchy's been stolen. This is well out of order. Sammy Two Shoes, that's what they called her. Sammy Two Shoes, she's only got one leg. Who's got the crutchy? It's not funny, but it's just like on that set when you listen to it. And he comes on, he's like, right, who's got Sammy's crutchy? Sammy Two Shoes. She's only got one leg. She needs it back. I don't know why that came in my mind. Worst injury. Oh, God. I mean, heel hooks. Heel hooks are always bad. I remember back in the day because egos in gyms, people get carried away, certainly when they're rivals with someone in the gym, because not everybody likes everybody. And then somebody gets you in a heel hook. A lot of the time, if they get you in the heel hook, you've got to tap. And I say that, and I got put in a heel hook recently, and I didn't tap, and I just managed to squirm out at the last minute, but it could have went wrong. You've just got to, own it. I generally say if somebody gets you in a heel hook, if they get the position in, say, right, well, I shouldn't have allowed you to get me there, because it can go from nothing to too late. Ligaments blown out. And I've heard it so many times. People just scream at the top of the voice in the gym and they've blown the knee out. Brian.
Have you seen that heavy kid that's crushing people's legs in jiu-jitsu tournaments recently?
No.
I don't know the kid's name, but he's I think he's a 10th Planet kid. And
right.
He's just destroying people's knees regularly.
Yeah, it's awful. And they're career enders. Yeah. Another one in the gym, I was rolling with a guy that I used to train with, and I don't know how it happened. We weren't even going hard. And we were rolling in some kind of transition. And I guess my elbow just kind of clipped him right on the end of the nose.
Turned it
And
sideways.
he just covered up on the floor. And I'm like, whoa, are you okay? Is everything all right? And I could just see blood, like a big puddle of blood getting bigger. And I was like, what the has happened? and he comes like that, and his nose was literally sideways. Yeah. I was like, oh my God. And he's like, is it bad? Is it bad?
No, it's fine.
Is it bad? And then someone else in the gym said, well, put it like this. If you followed your nose, you'd be going round in circles. So that one was pretty bad.
You never know what it takes. Like it doesn't take a lot of pressure to damage anything on your body if you hit it in the right spot, you know?
Yeah. No, it certainly doesn't. And you know what? That's the end of the show, guys. Thank you all for watching. Brian, thank you. Harrington, thank you. The M Harrington on Twitter. B McKay is right.
That's right.
For Brian on Instagram and the tweets, or the X. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the show. We're going to be back on Monday. And we've got a special guest co-host joining us on Monday. You're going to have to tune in to find out who it is. All the best. Enjoy your weekends. Enjoy the fights. Take care.